We're good. Sorry for the wait.
No, you're fine. Thank you, Will. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're at our reorganization meeting. Let's stand and do the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, we'd like to welcome our newest board members as they have taken their oath, and that's Tim Clark, Roger Ball, and Chris Boucher. Welcome. And now we will hand the meeting over to our board clerk, Mrs. Casey Ferguson, for the elections of our board president and board vice president.
All right, so bear with me, I'm very new to all this. So it looks like I'm going to be looking for nominations for president. Does anyone have a motion for a nomination for president?
Yep, I'd like to nominate John Guillermo.
Second that. And second on that, so we can do a roll call vote unless there's anyone else that wants a motion for a, all right, let's take a roll call vote. Start with this one. So Chris Boucher.
Yes.
Audra.
Yes.
Taylor. Yes. Tim.
Yes.
And John. So we'll move you up to the front and then you can start at the next spot with the nominations of your vice.
Musical chairs.
Maybe let's spread out a little this time.
We have a nomination for vice president. Does anybody nominate? Anybody?
I would, I'd like to nominate Tim Clark for vice president.
Is there any other nominations? I'll second. Other? Good. Do we have a roll call vote then?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I forgot that was my job. Close your door with me. Okay, so we'll do the same order. Chris?
Yes.
Audra?
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah.
Tim? Perfect. Oh, John,
Yes.
thank you.
Tim, come on up.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Take your name. You're on there.
We did a roll call. Was it board members?
Yes, we can stay. Yes. Now we will do a roll call to make sure everyone is selected. So, John Guillermo.
Here.
Tim Clark.
Here.
Audra All. I know. Are you here?
Yeah.
Sorry, Taylor, I skipped you. Taylor Boucher. Chris Boucher.
Here.
And Sarah Bashinsky is not in attendance.
I'd like to give a motion to accept the agenda from our last meeting. Or no, this agenda.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Casey, do we have any community comments?
I do not have any community comments.
Running anything online? Or Will, I'm sorry. No. Do we have anybody chiming in for a community comment?
None that I can see.
Okay.
Can I stop you for just a half second?
Absolutely.
We do need to do oath of office for board president and board vice president. Should I just stand and raise, or do you want me to give you this so you can read it? Does it matter to anyone?
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York. I will fully discharge according to the best of my ability the duties of the possession of board president, to which I am now assigned.
And I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will fully discharge, according to the best of my ability, the duties of the position of board vice president, which I now select.
Going to designation of committee members, so we have several committees that had existing members that are now no longer here. First one being budget, finance, and audit. Previously, the budget, finance, and audit committees were Ella. She's no longer on the board. Tom is no longer on the board. Taylor is the only existing committee person on the budget, finance, and audit committee.
John, before we designate people to the board committees,
Yes, sir.
Sarah's not here, and it was probably somebody else showing, right?
Certainly.
So,
Can we
can we push that off?
I'm not certain, can we? Do that for the
I
next
don't know if
meeting?
there's a legal obligation on the board committees, I'm not sure.
So one, I did have Sarah already tell me which committee she was still interested in staying on. I think that you probably have to do your budget finance audit committee because we're also supposed to do OLS for that now. But a good recommendation is we can also limit normally you have a 3-person maximum. We could limit that to a 2-person maximum today with alts on it. And then if your 7th board member wants to get on any of them, all of the committees would be open. So that's just a suggestion I wanted to throw out there if you wanted to not table everything.
What do you think that, well, obviously that one you mentioned, personnel agreements and negotiations, things you have to talk about, that come up public. Are there any of the ones that maybe you don't, maybe aren't going to be so quick to pop up, you know?
Yeah.
That maybe we can, we only have 7 people and we're 5 committees.
So I think that, I think the first 2, we probably need to nail down with at least 2 people. And then, and alternates, and then leave those open. Only because,
If these are lesser used CPA, what about going to 2-person maximum on those? I mean, a lot of that's gonna have, most things are kind of things that gotta be just like, kind of projects, like things that they.
yeah, we're
Superintendent's
already
gonna
in,
bring to the board anyway,
yeah.
a lot of times.
Tim and I are already on that one.
I'm trying to make sure people don't aren't here every week, there's only more public.
Well, I know with the capital project, just to chime in, I know that we have a couple meetings already scheduled for the next 2 months. And I know we're meeting as an owner, architect, construction management team, and then they want to meet with the actual committee. So if we could definitely, I think they want to meet once before we're going to meet again in August.
So right now, quite honestly, capital project, we already have myself, Tim, and Sarah, we're already on it.
There you go.
So that one's good to go, so we don't need to worry about that one. Policy, Tim is on policy, and Audra is on policy.
You
So
can take
there's
me off if
2.
somebody else would like to. That's a lot of reading and writing right there.
That one I think we can hold off.
Yeah, so negotiations is really kind of a, and I'll explain this in a second. So Audra and myself are on negotiations. However, when it comes to the support staff and that end of things, I have abstained from that because my sister-in-law is on it. So I didn't want any conflict on that.
There's really not much that, you know, I don't want to do that one.
No.
I would like to do the budget, finance, and audit.
Okay.
If you're just asking me, I'm
And I am.
down the chain. There's
Yeah.
other things, you know, put somebody in front of me, but,
So why don't we do,
and.
Taylor, you're already on that one.
Yep,
There's no way.
I'll
So
stay
that's
on.
2 right now. If we,
For athletics,
no, for budget finance.
that's works. The 2 that I'm concerned about are capital project and personal agreements and negotiations.
I would like to stay on personnel, if I can.
Because I'm gonna try to do as much as I can with FIDA before I go.
But does Sarah want to be on the personnel?
Sarah would like to stay on capital project and athletics, which is what she was currently
Yeah.
last in.
So athletic, we're pretty packed up, so.
Well, who's got it?
I will hop off athletic if you
Well, yeah,
want.
so why don't we have
And
Chris
do-
take Taylor's spot on athletics? You want to be on that, right?
I will.
Okay.
I'm not itching to be on anything. If you need somebody, I will.
Well,
You will.
I'd like to have that one filled too, only because
Oh.
so we got, well, let's start at the beginning. So let's go back to budget, finance, and audit. So right now, we have Taylor and Chris Boucher.
Do either of you want, I'm sorry, can I chime in? Do either
Yes,
of you
go
want
ahead.
to chair that? We also typically designate that here. And the previous chairperson was Ella, so I just want to throw that out there. Do we want to talk about
Would you
it?
I can do it.
Chris has got a lot of experience in that area, and I know you do too, but I mean, as a board member, Chris knows his way around it.
You can take that.
We need an alternate.
I'll do it on the coach.
We've got two.
I think we can probably fill that.
With the next-
Robertson.
Oh,
Yeah.
the new person.
Yep, so let's stick with those two. Good?
Perfect.
Okay. So negotiations, right now, we have Audra, myself. Sarah says she wanted to get on that?
That is not one she had listed.
Okay. Any interested in that? Sir? Okay.
Do you want to be alternate? Is that an alternate spot? Or do you-
Well, Tim doesn't have a dog in the fight
Um,
like I do, so
okay.
there's certain times that I step in. So, Audra, do you want to share
I'll
that?
share
Okay.
it. I mean, good job. You
make
got it,
some
girl.
agendas too.
How to do agenda? I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that. Okay,
You'll
you're
learn.
gonna have that.
I can,
Okay.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome, thank you. So policy, existing right now, we have Tim and Audra. Policy, Sarah was interested in policy, is that correct? No? Well, really,
Wait, what was she interested
Right
in?
now.
Sorry, capital project
capital and
and
athletics.
athletics.
Okay, so we have our two there. Unless either one of you don't want to be on it.
I'll still do that.
Do either of you want to share that
What was it?
Policy.
Well, you have been doing kind of the chairperson role,
one?
so let's continue.
Yeah.
Would you like to be there?
She's like, now.
I'm not a board member.
Yeah.
No, but you do a great job.
I can
And she doesn't
still
have to
definitely
be.
assist in that role, but I didn't know if you wanted to appoint somebody who was your official board member or chairperson.
Not me.
Nah,
You're
you,
good to the chair.
okay, so Tim will be the chair on that. All right, so capital project, which we have a ton of stuff in the works. Presently, we have myself and Tim.
And Sarah wants to get on.
Sarah wants to get on there, so anybody else have a burning desire to get on, dive into the capital project? No? Okay, so,
John, you were the existing chairperson.
yep, and I can
Would you
keep
like to
that,
remain?
that's
Okay.
fine.
Personnel.
You know, there's just so much going on with that it kind of makes sense to have somebody that's been there the whole time doing it. Him and I have been there from the beginning.
I do not.
Okay, athletic committee. So right now we have myself, Taylor, Audra, and Sarah.
You can take me off.
Who said that?
You
Audra?
can take
Okay.
me off, but Sarah
All
and.
right, let Audra come off. Chris, are you interested in being in the athletic committee? You, and the reason I asked,
I will be if somebody else.
I'll come off if you want to get on, because,
It's not important to me, Jim.
well, it's important to me, and this is why.
Let me persuade you.
This is why it's important to me. Is that it was important to me to be on it, but you have a vested interest in the youth sports in this area. And I firmly believe without a strong youth sports program, that we cannot have a strong program going up to the varsity level. So that being said, I think that you'll bring a tremendous amount to that committee to drive these programs up.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Talk me into it.
Thank you.
It
That
could
will
also be Sarah and myself, and then my dad is an alternate.
That's fine, whatever, but I just want Chris to be involved.
Okay.
in one way or the other. I firmly believe that, especially, and I'm sure we'll discuss it later, with the Hudson Falls thing, and you know, we're seeing sports in this area kind of drop, and I think that the reason for that is we don't have a strong youth program anywhere around here, so, except basketball. There's certain sports where we have strong youth programs that bubble up, and we can certainly see.
Baseball's coming along.
Yeah, it is, so, thank you.
So
You got those?
no, I'm sorry,
All
I'd
right.
just like to clarify where we landed on that.
So it's gonna be Taylor, Sarah, with Chris as an alternate.
Chris will be an alternate
Yep.
on that, okay.
So Taylor, would you care to share that board?
Which one?
Athletic,
Oh, sure,
okay, and have Taylor share that board.
thank you.
And that, I believe, is the end of our board designations.
Yes, except we now have to do an oath of office for budget, finance, and audit committee members.
All
So I am going to bring that to you,
Let her
Taylor
rip.
and Chris.
Quiet, not do another oath.
This is what I'm hoping will take the longest amount of time tonight.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will fully discharge according to the best of my ability the duties of the position, budget, finance, audit, committee member, which I now accept.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor, and Chris, and Sarah.
Would you like me to read it? I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will fully discharge, according to the best of my abilities, the duties of the budget, finance, audit committee member, which I now accept.
Awesome, thank you very much. Okay.
Very, very much.
It's cold over there? You getting cold?
Yeah, she's got a sweater.
Well,
Good me feel.
It does finally say numbers before it just said like CF, which I think just means it's seriously. Yes, it says 82, but it says numbers.
That's nice.
Well, I think we should close the window then.
Maybe we try.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Reports. Budget, finance, and audit. Do we have anything to report? Okay, personnel agreements and negotiations.
No committees.
Okay, policy review, nothing. Capital project, nothing right now. Athletic committee, nothing committee-wise. We'll dive into that. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. I'd like to report that the graduation was, I would call, a complete success. I want to thank all the board members who attended. The ceremony was approximately 90 minutes long. It was a gorgeous day. Chief Scott Gillis was our commencement speaker, who relayed 5 core values to the success of the graduates. And later in Erin's report, she will provide the hard stats for the graduation. Staff vacancies for 24-25 is we're still seeking a Spanish teacher. That posting ends this Friday. We have 2 applicants so far. We are looking for a TA for one of our special ed classrooms, and Mallory will dive into that as she's leading that search. We are looking for a library media specialist, and we have 3 applicants and interviews for that position to be conducted next week. Athletics, as you'll, I'm going to ask President Guglielmo to pull item 10C as the varsity basketball coach informed us regretfully that he is going to resign from that position this fall.
Really?
Yes, sir. We have JV football opening, we have a JV baseball opening, we have a JV softball opening, we have a JV girls basketball opening. For athletics, I will also report in the same vein that the sheriffs have petitioned to utilize our gym for rec basketball. And I think that's a great thing. So we are going to try to work with them to do that. The girls varsity basketball has an open gym schedule. And our girls volleyball also is participating in the summer program. Okay. Last board meeting, or possibly 2 board meetings ago, we approved the 24-25 calendar. We will have to reapprove that in August as there is a regents change, date change is. So anyway, look for that in August. And I want to thank Ms. Russo and especially Mrs. Ferguson for all of their work in organizing the New Meadow spaces. As you know, New Meadows has moved out. We are looking to take advantage of those spaces. And how that affects you is that we are going to move our board room to the second New Meadow room downstairs on the first floor so that we're a little more handicap accessible. And there is much more audience space in that room. So we'll be moving down there hopefully maybe the next meeting, we'll see. But Mr. Neron will be doing some work in there to spruce that up a little bit. And that is my report for this meeting.
Alright, and I have 3 bullets tonight, that is it. So like Dr. Malley said, graduation was on 6/28. We had 21 graduates, which gives us a 72% graduation rate. And again, that is calculated from the time students enter 9th grade. So it's not like we had 100, it's not from September to now. So, you know, unfortunately, we had, you know, we shed 18% from 9th grade to now. My next bullet is we have 14 students signed up for credit recovery, attempting to recover a total of 22 credits to stay on track for graduation. And 1 student who's participating in credit recovery will actually graduate in August, which then brings our graduation rate up to 75.8. So he's taking 2 classes in summer school, and again, will receive his diploma in August. And the credit recovery really helps us keep those kids on track so that hopefully in the future, our graduation rate is not at 72% because they've recovered stuff after 9th grade and 10th grade and 11th grade. And finally, we have, as of yesterday, 66 registrants for our pre-K through 8 summer academy. So, and that'll be running from July 8th through August 1st, 4 days a week for the 7th and 8th graders, 3 days a week for pre-K through 6. And students were recommended for a variety of reasons, academic or social skills. It is a great way to keep kids engaged during the summer, make sure there's no summer slide, and to prepare for the next year to come in to solid footing.
Did you see a significant difference in summer slide? Because I know last summer's program was extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see a significant, well, you may not be the best indicator, but Jessica may be.
Right.
Did you see a significant difference in the summer slide moving into this past school year from the school year maybe before that because of the enrichment program?
For 7th grade in particular, we have very few recommendations because kids were really academically. I think those were our kids who were in 5th grade when we started the program. So we have actually 0 enrollment in 7th grade. Very few. So right off of the top of my head, I feel like that.
That's pretty significant. Well, that's awesome. That's what it's all about.
And we work closely with REC to make sure the kids can all access the REC program directly from Summer Academy. We work with Mr. Donahue to make sure field trips are planned and all of that good stuff, so nobody has to miss out on either one.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Moving on to Mallory, please.
So all of our annual reviews are completed. We're just wrapping up a few last minute things. We did receive a couple last minute referrals, which can happen for special education. So we will have some people coming in to assist with evaluations and meetings so that we can meet our 60-day timeline. We have 10 students that will be attending extended school year programming. And these are our students typically that have substantial regression. So most of those students attend Prospect or BOCES, so they attend extended school year programming in their respective programs to keep with consistency. We did submit our IDEA grant last week, and I'll continue to work with our business office on getting our title grants situated for the next coming weeks. And we have one contract that was sent out for an out-of-district student for next year, and I'm hoping to get at least one or two more in our program.
That's gonna bring us up. How many is that bringing us up?
So right now, how we've done it, and I've been working with the business office to kind of finalize our process for payment and cost. So I believe we're basing it off of the number of students that are in the program. So for this particular student, we're looking at 37,000 roughly, and that doesn't include their related services. So, we bill for things like speech, counseling. So we would send them an itemized list of the services the student receives that they would be billed for additionally.
Thank you. Right, Steve, you're up.
Okay, guys, watching.
Just kind of like call right in the sun. I think I got the venue spot.
This can be sunburned, but I don't know.
We're working on the third floor, and it's third floor basically as of today is done. High school, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. I thank the board for having a full house as far as my help on as far as cleaning and everything, and being able to get some extra things taken care of. So I'm happy for that, and things are going well. We have the LEAP program student that will be coming here the 8th, so we'll keep him busy, and I've got some other people that are on my sub list that I'm very happy to have. I'm utilizing a couple of them this week because I'm short on Andrew Fish left. So I've got Jackson Chester work today for me, and doing a great job. And I've got some other ones coming this week. We've been working. I'm working on myself, trying to fix some equipment that's been let go and things and not working properly. So I'm investing a little bit of money to get these units fixed. The one unit I'm working on, I found out was a $3,800 scrubber that hasn't been working. It's just the bearings have blown right out of it. I took it all apart and I got my parts. I'm going to get them. It's going to be about $700 to get the parts, and I'll rebuild it, and we'll have another machine again.
How old is it?
Pardon?
How old is it?
That one, I believe, is about 4 or 5 years old.
Okay, so it's not ancient.
No, it's something that they bought, but working it in the water, and because there's a water usage with it and everything, they can work on those bearings underneath, and that's what happens to them, and then they start to deteriorate. So,
Is there a preventative maintenance schedule on
keeping them clean and everything else, which now, I'm staying on, making sure the units are cleaned and kept up, and, there's not really many grease fittings or anything on the
it?
units.
It's just a matter of moisture.
Keeping them good and in a good environment too, obviously. So, I'm working on the rooftop unit for the auditorium. We had the power outage here that affected many different things in the school. And all of a sudden we had issues with fire alarms, we had issues with auditorium sound system, blew some relays and things out of that. So going around between Sandy and myself, we're going around taking care of some of these things. I don't know why or what exactly happened to the unit at the auditorium, but we're working on it right now to try to alleviate that. I got, Jim Gerard he came and looked at our athletic fields, football and baseball, and came up with a program for us. Chris and Rich have signed off on it, so he'll be coming in July to do one of the first applications. I went around and got everything greened up pretty good. And it's like I told Jim, our weeds look healthy, they're nice and green. But we're gonna go ahead and, there's been issues with the fields now for years where, grubs and different things have gotten into the field. So we just wanna get the fields back up to snuff, and this year he's set us up with a program to try to alleviate it. And then in the fall, we'll reseed when temperatures are cooler, and we'll get the fields, back up to snuff so they look
Everybody get
good,
them up there, Jim.
And so that's that, and then of course with the reorganization moves that we went through around today with New Meadows being gone, there's gonna be a lot of moving going on. So I'm very thankful that I have the extra young guys and the muscle and everything to actually get these moves made. And so I'll be glad to have them all on board. That's all I've got.
Right, ask about any more money?
Huh?
No more money?
I don't.
What's that? Okay.
I can buy ice cream later.
I don't know if you know, Chris, Steve's the guy that whenever he opens his mouth, dollar signs start falling out.
He's my man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it for reports. Awesome. So we're down to discussion items. Has everybody had a chance to at least take a quick look at what the discussion items entail? I think International Club is the first one, and Jesse, going to speak on that?
As she comes over, I just want to thank Jess and Hillary and Shauna Brown Noble for their work in this. What had happened was, my philosophy, as you know, is if it helped one student, then we should at least try. So we have tours. In my past experience, we've been able to travel internationally, Italy and Greece, and the kids have gotten so much out of those experiences. So I talked to Mr. Benefield over at Argyle. Our goal was to get 3 or 4 students from each school to make the minimum of 5 or 6 and do an international trip. Well, Fort Edward came through a little more than we expected. We currently have 15 students deposited, ready to go to Ireland. So I just want to thank the community. I want to thank the kids for just jumping aboard on this, and the adults who have currently volunteered for that spot. And today we're petitioning for a discussion about adding stipends to those, or actually creating an international club which would have stipends associated with them for our staff at $500 each with a cap of 3 advisors for that. And obviously we have our rationale, and it's what Mrs. Smocko is going to go over. So back to you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for letting me come and speak on behalf of Mrs. Potter, Shauna Brown Noble, and myself. So I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at the proposal.
I had not distributed that, sorry.
That's okay. So as we were thinking about this and going through and sitting down with the parents for a parent meeting, we feel like we need to get an international club going here at school, not just for the kids who are going on this trip, but to kind of bring some of that, get some more interest here with our students on, venturing out into the world. It doesn't have to be Ireland. We could, look and research other places. Canada's pretty close. So our mission is to provide a platform for students to learn about different cultures and international issues, celebrate the diversity within our school community, promote culture exchange and understanding between students with various backgrounds, develop some leadership and communication skills through some of the activities we would like to plan, and plan and coordinate travel to educate and expose students to international experiences. Some activities and events that we would like to, that we were brainstorming would be like an international potluck featuring dishes from around the world, cultural presentations by students and guest speakers, movie nights showcasing international films, some language exchange programs, if applicable, possibly international pen pal programs, monthly meetings for members, and then parent information nights as we get closer to scheduled travel events. What would be some of the benefits for students? Increased knowledge and appreciation of different cultures, better communication skills, more of a global citizenship awareness, opportunities to make friends with students from other backgrounds, and then also the opportunity for our students to take on some leadership roles within that club. So we were thinking, what would the membership look like? It would be open to all students with an interest in grades 7 through 12. Those students that have signed up for our EF sponsored trip would be strongly encouraged to be active members. We would be looking for the club to be student-led with a board, like a board president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, so they could be involved in the voice of what we would be presenting or what trips we would be starting to explore or what are some things that they would like to learn more about. At the first meeting, we would propose to have nominations made and then vote for members to take some of those roles on. We're proposing that we would have up to 3 faculty advisors to support and provide guidance to the group. The expectations would be we would be holding monthly meetings. We would also be helping guide the group to seek out some fundraising opportunities and provide enriching events for both the students in the club and to the entire student body. So for an example, if we had an international festival, which would be really exciting for the kids. We did something like this way back in 3rd grade, the International Bazaar, so I'd love to bring something back. From that perspective, then that could be open to the whole student body, not just the kids in that club. We would also be requesting a stipend for the club, being advisors for $500 per advisor. We kind of looked through what some of the other stipends were and thought that that was reasonable for what we would like to do with the group. Why fundraising? Well, after going through the parent meeting with EF, some things came to light that transportation to Montreal was not included in that price, and we feel like by establishing an international club, that could be one of our goals, is to work with them to come up with funding to pay for transportation up to Montreal. The other thing is the 3 of us felt strongly tips were also not included, and we felt like that could be something that our club organization could use as a goal to try and fundraise or to take that burden off of the student. And then they had mentioned that snacks, like breakfast and dinner were included in that trip, but snacks were not. So we just thought as advisors, we could buy group snacks when we get there. So that would be where some of the funding would go. We just are excited to present this to you. We think it would be a great opportunity for students who are signed up for the trip, but also for our general student body to kind of explore their knowledge of the world outside of Fort Edward. Here are some ideas that we already have as advisors, and certainly the students would add to it.
invite a AAA travel agent to come in and just talk about general international travel. What are some things, tips and tricks that you need to know? Maybe because the first big trip is to Ireland, do something in conjunction with St. Patrick's Day, to kind of get kids excited about that, host some type of a student dance, do some type of a craft fair with an international flair. Works Barbecue was mentioned, a school-wide immigration day event. We were also thinking of some other trip ideas for the future, which could be Ellis Island, the Tenement Museum, and the Holocaust Museum. I know we did that last year in high school, but just to kind of get something to go along those lines. I also have a friend who has organized numerous trips to Ireland for educators who would be willing to come in and talk about her experience with some of the places in Ireland. And we were also looking to kind of reach out to another school there to kind of connect with them over the next year and a half as we prepare for our journey. So we have a lot of ideas. We think it would be great for our student body, and we hope that you consider it. Are there any questions?
Just have one question. So on the
Yes.
fundraising, then, are we restricted on fundraising activities as to what we can do if we can't?
There is like a fundraising calendar, and to my knowledge, we have restricted the amount of, going door to door fundraising that each group can do, because you don't want to saturate the community.
Right, but I mean, as far as like, so 100 years ago, when I was in school, we fundraised through car washes, bake sales, sessions. So the bang for your dollar fundraising wise, when you do something in-house like that is far greater than fundraising through fundraising agency. So we do Krispy Kreme donuts, and we sold, what was the last thing, cookies. So how much money per sale do the students actually get? And I want to say it's not great. I know like Girl Scout cookies. The Girl Scouts get a very minimal amount of money when they sell a box of cookies. So you have to sell a tremendous amount of stuff just to make it work. What's that?
It's hotter than heck right now. I know this, but
Yeah.
I can't talk about it.
So anyway, when you get back to the
Most of the stuff we could probably get at the phone. Have questions, the answer's fine.
Yeah.
We're looking to kind of piggyback on some already existing events and stay away from fundraising in that capacity, if that helps answer your question. But
Yep.
the total amount, we're just guesstimating, would be about $4,600 to cover the transportation, the tips, and the snacks. So
Okay.
over the next 2 years, that's what
That's
we're
not bad.
looking, trying to help the group do.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay?
And then just to answer you in short, real quick, is I know that they're really happy with the Krispy Kremes and the other ones. I think it's a pretty darn good fundraiser for them, so I know they're paying a lot in return. Yeah.
Do they? As long as they're making money, I mean,
Yeah.
some of those things aren't.
Like a couple thousand.
Yeah.
Just to get back, does anybody have any questions about the duties of the advisorship?
I think it's a great idea. I really think it's a good idea. I think anything we can do to expand the kids' world outside of Fort Edward is amazing.
So my plan is to possibly put that on for a resolution on the August calendar, on the August agenda. Yeah. Okay, excellent. And I'll just keep moving forward. Is that okay? The Hudson Falls, I was informed by Mr. Ward last week that the Hudson Falls varsity football team will not be able to be fielded this year. So due to lack of participation at this time, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. It does not really affect us in a great way, as most of, well, all of our participants will be on the JV team. So, but we are, just to tell you how fortunate we are here in Fort Edward about participation. I think they were able to field 15 varsity players And we are sending over 9 to 10 players for our JV team. So, for their JV team in addition to what they have. So, any questions on that? All right. Addition of an LPN. I'd like to petition the board and possibly put into a resolution for August, the addition of an LPN, including our RN, into our nurse's office. It would cost the district between $21,000 and $23,000 per year. The reason why I'm asking for this is we are in a serious liability when our nurse is not in. And that has happened several times this year. And in short, because I know we want to keep it rolling, that nurse's office is busy from minute go to minute end. With medications being distributed at least two times a day, the influx of mental health issues that the students are dealing with, as well as the normal scrapes, burns, playground incidences, things like that. We did hire Jody Boucher to mentor our nurse this past year. She gave us several recommendations, and unfortunately, we have had a lot of turnover in that office. 2 RNs in the 2 years that I've been here. So I think liability alone, we'd be thankful to spend the $21,000 to $23,000. God forbid if anything happened. And because the only thing we're covering that now with, and are able to, because I know Mallory beats the bushes every day we know a nurse is going to be out, is we cover it with a TA who has been in there for 5 years. They have CPR first aid that we provide. They have 5 years of experience in the nurse's office, but I am fearful of the liability issue. So.
Another question.
Yes, sir.
What's in the past 3 nurses? How long have they been?
Well, the only can speak for the last 2, so.
Okay, so you didn't, there was,
Before I got here,
earlier the 2?
I did.
Okay, so the one before you was there, and then so then 2 since you've been here?
Yes, sir.
A lot of turnover there quickly, and, you know, that, I'm guessing there's no reason I don't even know the salary.
The salary
it's about-
is lower, I believe, than if you are an RN in a hospital. You know, it is a lower salary, and, you know, we've posted a couple times, we've gotten one applicant right
I
now,
think there's some things to talk about in the office altogether.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
between, I think the salary is between 42 and 45. But you also a one-man band in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, so either way,
that's
it's gotta
probably,
go up.
you're getting, well, I don't know who.
You got somebody
Very
that's
slim
doing a
amount.
job.
Yeah, you
looking
can work
for another
part-time
job.
or anywhere, yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, would it make sense to up the salary to?
I don't know, yeah, that's something that we can talk about though.
Yeah.
I really think that you need 2 people there.
Good.
I think you need the LPN and the RN.
Okay.
They need to address.
So I just want to make sure I don't want to leave not understanding what we're talking about. So we're okay with moving forward on adding possibly an LPN, and we will go into discussions about the nurse's salary.
That, whoever's been like in the office now as your second or whatever, they would be retained, you know, like that position isn't going away, like you always had somebody in there with them, right? Just like an aide or something?
Yes.
But
have
that's just gonna be
somebody in there for a
reused, you're gonna
couple of
use that
years.
something else, so you're not eliminating a position. to
Right,
add.
that person
No.
will definitely be repurposed someplace else, for sure. I can tell you about 3 different places I want to put that person, so.
We're not gonna lose anybody. All right. You good? Do the negotiations.
Thank you for filling the Personnel and Negotiations Committee. I will be meeting with Chris, myself, and Rachel will be meeting with Mary Ann and their reps and my sit rep. Hopefully within the next 60 days to get as far as we can, because their contract is due, will end at the end of this coming school year. And I'd like to do as much as I can in the next 60 days to try to maybe close that up or get 90% of it done. So, I guess my question is, are you opposed to me moving forward in that direction? And, there you go.
Any discussion? I'm not. Anybody? I mean, we just negotiated a contract last year. And
Go ahead, me.
I mean, I think that right now it's just maybe for fine.
All right, we'll get those oars in the water and I'll keep you updated in our board reports. Next is teacher on special assignment. Yep, no, you're good, you're good. Teacher on special assignment, as you know, last year we agreed to teacher on special assignment. That contract, and then this past year we had petitioned for another administrator. I think with all of the change going on, and obviously, you know, all cards on the table, we know that there is more discussion to be had on that administrator. So rather than move forward on filling that administrative position that was approved, I would like to move forward on another contract for another year of teacher on special assignment to continue with our P2 project. We're 3 years in the making of that. We will be nationally recognized this summer at the conference. And I will tell you in short, just to keep the ball rolling again, without that teacher on special assignment, P2 will be an impossibility to keep rolling as it did this year. I can tell you many more things, and so can Aaron, but I'll leave it with you for any questions or further discussion. I'd like to be able to put that contract before the board for consideration of approval in August.
Is this position still doing duties addition to the project? Or still disciplinary referrals, or?
Yeah, disciplinary referrals, again, lots of positivity project, helping with curriculum instruction, so really doing, as you know, really doing a lot of work.
Similar to last year.
Exactly.
We're doing it?
Yes.
Public information officer. I provided you very detailed information in the update, but we are petitioning for an additional $1,000 to that stipend. That is a 12-month position. Updates our website, Facebook, and Instagram, acts as our photographer. Did not see that stipend has not moved since 2018. And they have supplied themselves with their own equipment. And basically it's done a lot more. It's all in here if you'd like to read that, but any discussion?
What's the current number? 4,000. Has it gone up since 2018?
It was kind of wild. Went from like 1 to 2 to 3 and it stagnated at 4.
What's the varsity football coach doing?
Depends on how many years of experience they have. I want to say 3 to 4. I think, no, that's low. There's more, right?
In the 5s.
Sorry.
It's gotta be near 6. I think it's close to 6th grade.
I think you're right.
I mean, right in the range of that if you don't go somewhere.
Okay.
Really, the varsity coach.
Thank you very much. And you're back on.
All right, annual policy review. Tim, got anything to add on here?
Yeah, what was these first readings, or what?
Yep, sorry, I'll speak to that.
Okay.
Sorry. So, those are all, policies that you must review due to typically law, each year. No action has to be taken on them unless you would like to take action on them. So as long as you have looked them over, or still need to look them over, but they were in the packets. If you looked them over and there were no changes that you want to make, then we don't have to do anything. That's our annual review. And then if there are any that you do want to make changes to, I would suggest that we push them over to policy committee, and then mock them up for first readings and all of that. They're just a thing that you have to review each year.
I did look over each one and that changes.
And you don't have to re-adopt, so it's just, they're all, as long as you reviewed them, then we're all set on that aspect. Cool.
We good?
Yeah.
Annual designation consent agenda, we're gonna go ahead and go right down the list, if that's okay with everybody. So A, which is
Just saying.
A through,
X.
triple X. A through triple X. Anybody have a problem doing that?
Yeah,
You got a
I'll
question?
make a motion to approve it.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, cool. Consent agenda, approval of the previous board minutes.
Motion. You can do those all
A
in
through
the
C?
same A through C if
Yeah.
you guys are, that's our typical
Good.
consent agenda.
Motion,
Motion.
second, Audra, all in favor?
Aye.
Personnel consent agenda. Do these.
If you go A through D.
Oh, A through double F.
Oh, A double F, yep. A through double F.
And then I
Need to take one out.
I need discussion on this. Well, it's personal,
Go ahead.
so it's on personal. I need discussion.
Which item do you want us to pull?
Anyone in particular, or do you want to just go through them?
I'm not comfortable saying in public, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll have to do it after exec.
Okay, so let's,
Table.
we'll table that, go
So
after exec.
we're tabling
We're
A,
tabling 9, A through
F, F.
double F.
So can we have a motion and a second to table? Motion.
Need a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay. Coaching consent agendas. We're not gonna go through all of these, but we're gonna go through a couple of them. So A, varsity football coach Raymond. So there's not gonna be a varsity football program.
So you can take it.
So we're gonna table that one unless anybody has.
Motion to table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So B, okay, so C, we're gonna take that off.
You can pull C.
We're gonna pull C.
I think you have to do that.
Take a motion to
Yeah,
pull C off.
just table C.
Take a motion to table C.
Sure.
Okay, all in favor? Table C?
D, E,
D, then B through B.
there you go.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve B, then B through B.
Motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and action item summer curriculum. And we have
Well, that basically is, we have 216 curriculum hours, so that's a certain amount for teachers.
So we have the summer curriculum, EPD contract, and Tetra Tech services for a capital project. Need a motion to accept all three.
Actually, if we could do them individually, the action, 11B, I want a roll call, so if we could just do them separately, so I can roll call
Okay.
11B, that would be helpful.
No problem. So, action item A. Need a motion? Motion. I'll do the second. All in favor? C, Tetra Tech services for our capital project. Any discussion? No? Need a motion?
Motion.
Second, Chris? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And B, the EPD contract, I'm gonna throw that over to Casey.
Yep, so first we need a motion and a second on that. I just want to do a roll call vote on the.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's the way that they wrote up the, letter that they sent back to say how the resolution was written up, so I just wanted to do a roll call so I can get it each individually that way.
Okay. We had a motion and a second. Taylor and Audra.
And then I'll go back through the lines, Chris,
Yes.
Audra,
Yes.
Taylor, Tim,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to personnel, all appointments are subject to change, compensation and proration pending emergency school closing, required reductions in force. All coaching appointments are made pending completion and verification of all required coaching credentials with the stipend for the FETA contract, commensurate with experience, no other salary or benefits. All coaching extracurricular appointments subject to reduction in compensation proration pending final student enrollment numbers and pending the outcome of any potential mergers and emergency school closings. Here we go, appointments first, A through M. Need a motion to approve A through M. Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And we have some reservations.
And through Q are part-time cleaners or substitute cleaners that, yes, they're just substitute cleaners, so they make that kind of. R is, our nurse. Myself, and then T is our, library media specialist.
Now, please have a motion to accept M through T.
Motion.
Second.
Taylor and Audra, all in favor? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have a second public comment? No? No? Okay, would like a motion to enter into executive session. Second, Chris? All in favor?
Aye.
You will be taking action.
And we will come back.
Will.
We're coming back, Will.
Yeah.
All right, let's, people out, we going,
Oh, you guys can go down to my conference room.
all right.
I'll walk you guys down, and Dr. Parker and Mr. Mueller
You're back on?
It's live, yeah.
Thank you.
Do I have to help? Is it just that you need to come on
We are back live. Thank you.
Yeah, are we all?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Back in public session. So, can I please, under personnel, get a motion to approve A through V?
Motion.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Did I get a motion to approve X through double F? Motion. We're gonna come back to W.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Did I get a motion to approve item W, athletic director Kay Sybil? Motion. Have a second? Any discussion?
You get a second?
Did I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Mr. Boucher is opposed, everybody else was a yea. And that is it for that.
That's it, right, Kate?
That is it for everything. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Need a motion to adjourn? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. We both did it at the same time. Scott.
That was a finish right there. Finish.
I think she had me. My arm was longer.
Thank you.
John, I have your. Good night, everybody.
Keep that-
Good night.